In my previous life, my younger sister married the heir Chen Xiao, while I wed the newly crowned top scholar. After the grand wedding, my sister and Chen Xiao went on a spring outing together, only to encounter bandits on the road. My sister was abducted by the outlaws. The next day, my sister lay at our doorstep in tattered clothes, her reputation utterly ruined. Chen Xiao sent a letter of divorce, severing all ties with my sister. My sister, in utter despair, hanged herself in the middle of the night. When I rushed home, all I found was her cold, lifeless body. I hunted down the bandits to avenge my sister, and from their mouths I learned it was Chen Xiao who had bribed them to ruin my sister's reputation. The reason? My sister had refused to let his mistress enter the household on their wedding day, so Chen Xiao took revenge for his beloved. I assassinated Chen Xiao, but outnumbered, was killed by his guards. Thunder rumbled across the heavens. Lightning flashed, and I died with unclosed eyes. When I awoke again, I had actually been reborn. Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. Subscribe us to read wonderful stories every day. Now the story begins. The imperial heir and the top scholar have both come to propose marriage simultaneously. Your father and I have already discussed it. Mingzhu understands etiquette and behaves properly. She'll marry the crown prince of Chen, while Mingyu will wed the newly appointed top scholar. His family won't impose so many rules to restrain you. Mother's familiar voice rang in my ears. I carefully surveyed my surroundings. Everything felt so familiar. Seeing my younger sister alive and well, my nose tingled with emotion, and I nearly burst into tears. Pearl, here are the betrothal gifts list and the engagement token from the young master. Keep them safe. Mother handed the betrothal gifts list and the jade pendant to my younger sister. My sister clutched the hem of her clothes tightly with both hands, her lips pressed together in hesitation. In our previous life, she had immediately taken the list and pendant, carefully tucking them close to her body. In this life, my sister stood still, making no move. Mother noticed something was amiss. Mingzhu, why aren't you taking it? Okay, my sister slowly extended her hand, but I snatched it first. Mother, I will marry the crown prince. Mingyu, sister. Both mother and younger sister protested simultaneously. Mother was perplexed, while younger sister was worried. I feigned shyness. Mother, the truth is I've long admired the heir apparent. I fell for him at first sight. Please let me marry him. I swiftly tucked the jade pendant and inventory list into my bosom. Mother looked at me in disbelief, while confusion flashed in my sister's eyes. Seeing my insistence, the marriage arrangement was settled. As soon as mother left, my sister nervously grabbed my hand. Sister, are you also? Her little face was full of anxiety, glancing around, yet she still couldn't utter those two words. After all, rebirth is too fantastical. Speaking of it would likely be dismissed as nonsense or even mistaken for demonic sorcery. I've been reborn. I said it plainly. Seeing my sister's hesitant behavior earlier, I guessed she had been reborn too. Sure enough, my younger sister was overjoyed, tears glistening at the corners of her eyes. Heaven has been kind to us, allowing us both to be reborn. Elder sister, you mustn't marry Chen Xiao. He has a beloved named Liu Yao Yao. In our past life when we encountered bandits, he ordered all the guards to protect Liu Yao Yao and abandon me. That's why I was captured by the bandits. My sister's eyes turned red with anger as resentment surfaced. The guards could have protected us both to safety, but he deliberately refused. Don't worry, I wiped away my sister's tears. In this life, I'll make Chen Xiao pay in blood for what is done. The date for my marriage to Chen Xiao was quickly set, the same day my sister had been wed in our previous life. 3 days before the wedding, Chen Xiao came to see me, cutting straight to the point. On our wedding day, Yao Yao will enter the household as well. She entered the manor with you through the main gate. Chen Xiao, fearing his beloved might feel slighted, hastily added, "Oh, I took a sip of tea. I'm not yet married into the family. This matter shouldn't be discussed with me. Just say whether you agree or not." I raised an eyebrow and glanced at Chen Xiao. If the heir can persuade the princess of Chen, then do as you please. I have no objections. Naturally, I have ways to convince my mother. As long as you agree, that's all that matters. Chen Xiao, having received my reply, left in high spirits, eager to share this good news with his beloved at the earliest opportunity. Ah, taking both the principal wife and the concubine on the same day. Chen Ziao personally delivered his weakness into the hands of his sworn enemy. Why would I refuse such an offer? I gave Dongji a meaningful glance, and with a nod, he swiftly departed. On the wedding day, the entire capital was abuzz with festivity. The bridal procession from the prince's mansion scattered coins, candies, and handkerchiefs of celebration at every turn, attracting a trail of married women, young wives, and children along the way. Throughout the journey, the children's blessings of a harmonious union lasting 100 years and eternal togetherness could be heard. In the bridal chamber, red candles flickered, filling the room with joyous festivity. I sat quietly by the bed, waiting, with my personal maid Dongji standing by to attend to me. The red candles wept halfway down as the night deepened, and the moon quietly climbed into the sky. It wasn't until the dead of night, when all the guests had departed, and the clamor in the front hall had long since quieted down, that Chen Ziao still hadn't arrived. Even the maids who were supposed to be attending in the room and the matron of honor responsible for the ceremony were nowhere to be seen. Dongji, who had been expressionless, suddenly looked furious. "Miss, the prince's residence is going too far. If word of tonight's events gets out, I'm afraid." I casually pulled off my bridal veil. "Don't worry about these things. Let's rest early." The winter solstice helped me remove the heavy ornaments from my head. With my head suddenly lightened, I turned my stiff neck and felt my entire body relax considerably. In my previous life, the top scholar's family didn't care much for such formalities. They had hot water prepared for my bath as soon as I entered the bridal chamber. But in this life, marrying into the strictly ceremonial prince's residence, everything was different. Dongji entered the room carrying hot water, seething with anger. "Miss, the prince's mansion is utterly humiliating. Just now I overheard the maids saying the young master went to the West Wing chamber. On his wedding night, he doesn't come to the bridal chamber. The prince and princess Chen tolerate this so openly. Aren't they afraid of becoming a laughingstock?" I sneered coldly. If they weren't indulgent, how could they allow the mistress to enter the mansion on the same day as the official wife? My wedding sedan had barely crossed the threshold when Liu Yaroro's sedan followed right behind. Liu Yaroro was the courtesan Chen Zia redeemed from a brothel during his pleasure trip to Yangzhou. Publicly she claimed to sell art, not her body, but privately many wealthy merchants were her patrons. Although Chen Ziao had gone to great lengths to conceal her identity with a new persona, many still knew the truth. For this matter, Prince Chen invoked the family discipline, beating Chen Ziao until he was covered in wounds before the ancestral tablets, leaving him bedridden for over 2 months. Yet, Chen Ziao was determined to marry Liu Yaroro, even declaring he would sever ties with Prince Chen as father and son, as the only son of the princely household. Prince Chen naturally would not consent. The princess consort of Chen, out of maternal affection for her son, allowed Liu Yaroro to be kept outside the household, but she insisted that Chen Ziao must first marry the legitimate heir's wife before Liu Yaroro could be brought into the household. In the previous life, her younger sister refused to enter the household on the same day as the concubine, so Chen Ziao bribed bandits to ruin her reputation and take her life. Dongji's face was full of indignation, and she was about to say more when a flurry of hurried footsteps interrupted her. A group of people holding trays filed in one after another. It was the missing maids and the wedding matron. Chen Ziao entered the room with a livid face, his entire body radiating reluctance. "Xiao Mingyu, I'll allow you to take the position of the official wife since you permitted Yaroro to enter the manor on the same day, but don't you dare hope for anything more. The one I love is Yaroro. She is my only true wife. I will only have children with her. Her children will be registered under your name and call you their legal mother. But from now on, you must not use your status to bully or humiliate Yaroro in this manner. When you see her, you will take a detour." Chen Ziao was utterly despicable. In her past life, had her sister also suffered such humiliation from him? At this thought, my fists clenched tightly, and I could hardly resist the urge to rush forward and punch this bastard. In my heart, I repeated, "Endure, endure, endure 10,000 times." A moment's impatience could ruin the grand plan. Just as I was about to retort, a sickly sweet and delicate voice chimed in. "Brother heir, this isn't proper. I'm just a concubine and dare not overstep. What if, sister heiress resents you for it? I looked up to see a beautiful woman in sheer gauze entering the room. Her graceful figure swayed like a delicate willow in the breeze, evoking an involuntary sense of tenderness. So this must be Liu Yao Yao. No wonder she had captivated Chen Xiao. Chen Xiao's eyes lit up as he wrapped his arm around Liu Yao's waist. Why didn't you wait for me in the room? The night wind is chilly, you might catch cold, it's all mother's fault, insisting I complete some tedious ritual, otherwise I could have stayed in the room with you. Liu Yao placed her hands against Chen Xiao's chest, gazing at him with tearful eyes as she spoke softly and timidly. Today, thanks to the Shizi consort's mercy, I was permitted to enter the manor together. By custom, this humble concubine must serve tea to the Shizi consort as elder sister. With these words, Liu Yao picked up the teacup from the table. How could Chen Xiao bear to see Liu Yao wronged? He snatched the teacup away and pulled her into his embrace, heart aching. No tea offering is needed. In my heart, you are my only wife, worthy of the finest things in this world. She is merely the consort my mother brought into the household. Liu Yao's tears fell instantly as she whimpered softly. Brother Xiao, I thought you had forgotten our vows sworn on the mountains and seas. Chen Xiao hurriedly soothed her. How could I? You're the only one in my heart. Liu Yao deliberately turned her face toward me, her eyes brimming with triumph. Lips curled in a mocking smile, her gaze dripping with disdain. Clearly, this was a deliberate performance staged for my benefit, meant to show me how much Chen Xiao loved her and how well he treated her, all designed to provoke me. Dongji's face flushed crimson with anger, yet I remained perfectly calm. After turning the matter over in my mind several times, I decided to play along with her scheme. Feigning agitation, I swept the phoenix crown off the dressing table with one furious motion. Chen Xiao, this is our wedding night, yet you bring her here to humiliate me. You're trampling the dignity of my Xiao family beneath your feet. Get out, both of you, get out. Tomorrow I'll report everything that happened tonight to the princess consort, Xiao Mingyu. How dare you tattle to mother consort? Chen Xiao, upon hearing my threat to report him, tried to charge forward but was stopped by Liu Yao, holding Chen Xiao's hand. Liu Yao put on an expression of feigned reluctance and forced resilience. Brother Shizi, Sister Shizifei is right. Tonight is your wedding night. You should drink the nuptial wine with Sister Shizifei and consummate the marriage. Chen Xiao shook his head, tightening his embrace around Liu Yao with determination. What nonsense are you saying? Of course I'm spending tonight with you. Xiao Mingyu, go ahead and complain to mother consort. I refuse to consummate the marriage with you. I'll make you the laughingstock of the court. Get out. I grabbed a pillow and hurled it at Chen Xiao. All the servants listened to their masters quarreling with bowed heads, not daring to look up. Now they didn't even dare to breathe loudly. Brother Shizi, Liu Yao cooed. Don't be like this. The princess consort said we must complete the ceremony properly. Hurry up with the ceremony, now. Chen Xiao flew into a rage. Kicking the chair at his feet away, the wedding matron quickly bowed her head in response, beckoning the maid holding the jade rui scepter to step forward. May the heir apparent use the jade rui to lift the bride's red veil. As the words fell, the matchmaker finally looked up at me, only to see me sitting on the edge of the bed with disheveled hair, the bridal veil carelessly tossed on the ground. The matchmaker panicked for a moment before quickly changing the subject. Please. The young master and the young mistress, drink the wedding wine. The maid holding the tray raised it in offering. Chen Xiao let out a mocking laugh as he picked up both cups. The wedding wine, of course. I should drink it with my wife. He spoke as he handed one of the cups to Liu Yao. Liu Yao took the wine, flashed me a triumphant smile, raised her delicate brows, and downed it in one gulp. Before my very eyes, they completed the ceremonial sharing of the wedding wine. The maids and the wedding matron lowered their heads, pretending not to have seen anything. Congratulations, young master. Congratulations, young mistress. The ceremony is complete. May the two of you enjoy a harmonious union for 100 years, remain forever of one heart, be blessed with a noble son soon, and may your family flourish and multiply. Chen Xiao was very pleased with the servants' performance and rewarded each of them with a bag of money. Liu Yaoyao deliberately dropped one of the bags at my feet. Young master brother, what should we do about this? She pointed at the money on the ground. Chen Ziao waved his hand grandly. Give it to her. I kicked the bag of money on the ground, sending it flying straight into Liu Yaoyao's thigh, making her grimace in pain. I raised an eyebrow, crossed my arms, and said disdainfully, "Consider it a reward, Xiao Mingyu. You're truly a venomous woman. Brother Shizi, it hurts so much. Let me take you back to your room to apply medicine." Chen Ziao carried Liu Yaoyao away in his arms, shooting me a fierce glare before leaving. Liu Yaoyao's gaze toward me grew even more triumphant. Everyone had left, yet one person remained in the room. It was the elderly maidservant who had been following Liu Yaoyao earlier. The old matron had triangular eyes, upturned brows, a hooked nose, and downturned lips. She looked thoroughly unapproachable. She slightly lifted her chin and glanced at me sideways with an air of superiority. "I am Matron Kui, the personal attendant of Miss Liu. The consort may address me as Matron Kui." Resting my head on my hand, I smiled and replied, "Oh, and what guidance does Matron Kui have for me?" Madame Kui snorted coldly. "I just wanted to teach the Crown Princess some manners. From now on, when you see Miss Liu in the mansion, stay far away. You can't bully her like you did tonight. Miss Liu has the Crown Prince's favor. She's not someone the Crown Princess can afford to offend. The Princess Dowager can't shield you all the time. After all, the Crown Prince is her only son. This title of Crown Princess is nothing but an empty name, kept around for the sake of appearances. If the Crown Princess behaves obediently, she might still be given a bite to eat, but if she refuses, then we'll have to resort to other methods. These are troubled times, with bandits running rampant, robbing not just wealth, but virtue too. What if the Crown Princess were to be kidnapped by bandits? By then, the Xiao family's reputation would be utterly ruined." Though Granny Kui spoke with a smile, her words carried a chilling threat. Seeing my silence, she assumed I was frightened into stupor and nodded in satisfaction. Just as she turned to leave, I called out to stop her. I picked up the bracelet and placed it on her wrist. Speaking with sincere earnestness as if truly intimidated, "Granny Kui, thank you for teaching me the rules. This is but a small token of my sincerity." As I spoke, I placed the hairpin back on her head. Auntie Kui was quite pleased with my performance and rolled her eyes before leaving. At the doorway, she sneered arrogantly. "Thought you were something special, but you're just SOSO. I signaled to Dongji, who was nearly bursting with anger. "Go ahead, don't hold back, having been reborn. Of course I should collect some interest first." With permission granted, Dongji kicked Granny Kui flying just as she was stepping out the door. Granny Kui lay sprawled in the courtyard, moaning and groaning incessantly. Dongji stepped forward and yanked Granny Kui up by the collar. Slap, 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 slap. A series of crisp, resonant slaps rang out. Dongji had trained in martial arts since childhood, making her far stronger than most. In no time, Matron Kui's face swelled up like a slaughtered pig's head ready for sale, before Dongji casually tossed her to the ground. "You, ouch!" Granny Kui gasped in pain the moment she opened her mouth, her face contorted. "Ouch! How dare, ouch! You hit me." I slowly walked up to her and kicked her squarely in the face. Blood gushed from her nose, staining my shoe. "Thank you for the reminder, Granny Kui. How thoughtful of you. I'm someone who understands etiquette very well. But it seems Granny Kui doesn't understand etiquette at all." She actually dirted my shoe. She wiped the soles of her shoes clean on her clothes, but accidentally used too much force, snapping her foot. Nanny Kui let out a scream like a slaughtered pig, dragging her freshly broken legs as she clawed at the ground, crawling desperately toward the courtyard gate. Now, she paid no heed to the pain on her face, shrieking at the top of her lungs, "Murder! Help! The Crown Princess is killing someone! Help! The Crown Princess is killing someone!" In about the time it takes to drink a cup of tea, the Princess of Chen arrived in haste with two matrons in tow. Matron Kui lay on the ground in a grotesque posture, her face covered in blood, her arm twisted 180 degrees, and her legs folded outward. Upon seeing the Princess of Chen, she uttered a faint plea. Princess, save me. How dare you, Xiao Mingyu, you have the audacity to commit violence in the prince's residence." The Princess of Chen shouted angrily. I calmly adjusted my clothes and signaled to Dongji, Dongji immediately knelt down. Your Highness, the crown princess was bathing when she discovered someone sneaking into the room to steal. This servant chased after and injured the thief upon catching them. I beg for your Highness's punishment. The Princess of Chen glanced at the unconscious Granny Kui on the floor, her eyes sweeping over the hairpin in the woman's hair and the jade bracelet on her wrist. Then issued a direct command: throw this worthless slave to the back mountains to feed the wild dogs. Don't dirty the prince's estate. The two matrons obeyed the order and immediately dragged away the unconscious matron Kui. The princess consort had 2 chests of gold, silver, and jewels brought over to properly console me, as tonight's incident had shamed the Chen prince's household after all. Dongji was very puzzled. Miss, why did you have to kill matron Kui? Doesn't this alert the enemy? I chuckled lightly. Precisely to beat the grass and startle the snake. How can we catch it if it keeps hiding in the shadows? Everything I did tonight was to force Chen Ziao and Liu Yaoyao to make a move against me. Chen Ziao can't bear to see Liu Yaoyao suffer, so he'll surely stand up for her. That's when I'll have my chance to finish them both. If the princess consort had spared matron Kui tonight, I would have found another opportunity to kill her anyway. Depriving Liu Yaoyao of one of her scheming advisors, the threat in Granny Kui's words was already quite clear. She would have bandits ruin my virtue. In my past life, when my younger sister was abducted, it must have been connected to her. Chen Ziao and Liu Yaoyao were the masterminds, while Granny Kui was their accomplice. Rather than waiting to strike back after others harm me, it's better to take the initiative and eliminate them in advance. Those with blackened hearts and livers, living in this world, only bring calamity upon others. I'm merely accumulating virtue through good deeds. The next day, as I was preparing tea for the ceremonial offering, Chen Ziao stormed in angrily. With a forceful shove, all the tea set crashed to the ground. Xiao Mingyu, you venomous woman. Black-hearted wretch, how dare you kill Yororo's only remaining relative, matron Kui? I replied softly, young master, matron Kui had sticky fingers and was caught stealing from my room. The princess dowager herself ordered the punishment upon learning of it. How could Granny Kui possibly steal from your room? This is clearly your slander. You're jealous of Yao Yao, so you framed Granny Kui and killed Yororo's only family. You venomous woman, I'm divorcing you. Slap asterisk. A crisp slap rang out. Chen Ziao was struck, covering his face as he stared at Prince Chen in disbelief. Prince Chen stood before him with a dark expression, while Princess Chen looked at Chen Ziao with heartache in her eyes, yet dared not make any move to stop him. Divorcing your wife the day after your wedding, you're trampling the dignity of Prince Chen's household underfoot. Father, she's a venomous woman, a murderess who kills indiscriminately. If she stays, she'll surely kill Yao Yao. Silence, on your knees. Chen Ziao tilted his head to the side, only to receive another slap from Prince Chen. He protested indignantly. Father, Princess Chen tugged at Chen Ziao's sleeve, shaking her head slightly to signal him to kneel and remain silent. I knew it, the task I had entrusted to Dongji was accomplished. Chen Ziao knelt reluctantly on the ground, still defiant as he muttered, Father, I haven't done anything wrong. Why must I kneel, you unfilial wretch? You still refuse to admit your mistake. I didn't do anything wrong. With that, he shot me a fierce glare. Prince Chen pointed at him and demanded, You unfilial son, on your wedding day yesterday, did you let Liu Yaoyao enter the manor with you? And last night, the bridal night, did you stay in Liu Yaoyoro's room? Chen Ziao retorted boldly. So what if I did? Mother agreed to it. Prince Chen turned abruptly to glare at Princess Chen. You agreed to this. You indulge him in his recklessness too. Now the whole city is abuzz with rumors that the heir, for the sake of a beauty, dared to violate imperial law by marrying both wife and concubine at once. At court today, the censors used this to impeach me, saying I failed to educate my son properly, indulging him in favoring a concubine over his wife. Prince Chen flung the teacup at Chen Ziao's feet. If this matter isn't handled properly, your days as heir apparent are over. Hearing this, Chen Ziao froze in place, utterly at a loss. Prince Chen cast a glance at Princess Chen. The crown princess immediately walked up to me, her eyes brimming with tears as she took my hand. Mingyu, you've suffered injustice. It's our Ziao's fault for putting you through such hardship, but as the saying goes, Husband and wife are one. When one prospers, both prosper. Don't you agree? So this whole performance was aimed at me. Good. This plays right into my hands. I immediately put on an obedient and docile expression. The princess consort is absolutely right. As husband and wife, we are one. The heir's affairs are my affairs. To quell the rumors, the heir should consummate our marriage, stay with me for several consecutive nights, and accompany me on a high-profile return to my maiden home. When people see this, the rumors will naturally be dispelled. What a brilliant idea. I object. Two voices rang out simultaneously. The one in favor was the Princess of Chen, while the one who objected was naturally Chen Ziao. The Prince of Chen glared at him fiercely, directly threatening Liu Yaroro's life to force compliance with his demands. For the traditional third-day bridal return, the Princess of Chen arranged carriage after carriage of gifts, ostentatiously parading them through the entire capital to ensure all the commoners witnessed the Chen manor's lavish favor toward me. My parents were naturally delighted. My younger sister looked at me with concern, urging me not to oppose Liu Yaro and to let Chen Ziao have his way, as preserving my life was what mattered most. Oh, my foolish little sister, guarding against villains is something you can't do forever. After returning to the estate, Chen Ziao intended to consummate our marriage as planned. He was naturally unwilling and kept cursing at me. Xiao Mingyu, the rumors outside must have been spread by you. You'd stoop to anything to get me. You shameless, man-starved wench. I've told you, aside from the position of the heir's wife, you'll get nothing else from me, including my body. Men are truly laughable, always so full of themselves, as if I actually coveted his body. I pointed to the daybed. You sleep there, I'll take the bed. Let's get through these few days peacefully. To the outside world, we'll say the marriage has been consummated to quell the rumors and, more importantly, to save face for both families. Do you really want your position as heir to come to an end? The source of those rumors can no longer be traced, but if the heir insists on pinning them on me, he's free to leave right now. Chen Ziao's face flushed red and then paled at my words. With a cold snort, he turned his back to me and lay down on the couch. He stayed in my room for 5 nights, pretending to be humiliated, while telling everyone outside that we had consummated the marriage. I even deliberately pricked my finger to stain a handkerchief with blood, proof of consummation, and handed it to the princess consort. Chen Ziao stayed in my room for several consecutive days, and when Liu Yaro found out, she immediately made a scene. She clamored and fussed about leaving the prince's residence. Wanting to return to Yangju, Chen Ziao had to shower her with gold, silver, and jewels, swearing he wouldn't set foot in my courtyard again, before finally managing to appease her. The two reconciled as before, sticking together like glue, sweet and affectionate. Early the next morning, Liu Yaro swayed her hips and arrived at my courtyard, glowing with vitality. She smirked triumphantly. So what if you, sister Shizi consort, used tricks to make Ziao stay in your courtyard? Ziao told me he didn't touch you. You two never consummated the marriage. What does it matter if you hold the position of Shizi consort? The moment I'm unhappy, you'll be kicked out of that spot immediately. I curled my lips into a mocking smile. So what if you've entered the manor? Has the Shizi given you any status? As long as I refuse, you'll remain nothing but a hidden mistress for life, with so many maids in the prince's residence. If I casually promote a few to concubines, do you think the prince would still remain devoted to you? Would he still remember his passionate vows to you, having seen so many men? Don't you understand how men are? Liu Yaro was so angry she couldn't speak. Stamping her foot, she stormed off. Dongji went out to gather news and returned to tell me that Liu Yaro had quarreled with Chen Ziao again. No matter what Chen Ziao offered her, nothing worked. After much coaxing, he finally swore on the spot that he would not bring any new women into the household and would make Liu Yaro his secondary consort. Only then did Liu Yaroro's tears turn to smiles. Chen Ziao knelt with Liu Yaro at the entrance of the Chen princess's courtyard, declaring that unless the princess gave her approval, he would neither eat, drink, nor rise. The Chen princess scolded Chen Ziao as a scoundrel, saying that just as rumors had died down, he was stirring up trouble by demanding to take a secondary consort. This was trampling the Chen royal household's dignity underfoot. Dongji said indignantly, "Miss, they're truly going too far. The princess consort said this matter won't proceed unless you give your approval. They're clearly putting you on the spot. What decent family would force a newlywed to accept a concubine so soon after marriage? This prince's household is really..." Before Dongji could finish speaking, the sound of the door opening interrupted her. Chen Xiao barged into my room with Liu Yaoyao in tow. "Xiao Mingyu, I want to make Yaoyao my concubine. Go tell mother that you agree. Brother Shizi, please don't speak to the Shizi consort like this. I know my background is lowly and unworthy of entering the royal residence. I only wish to stay by your side, that would be enough for me." As she spoke, Liu Yaoyao began wiping her tears. The sight of the beauty weeping made Chen Xiao's heart ache. "Yaoyao, I won't allow you to belittle yourself like this. In my heart, you're the best, deserving of the finest things this world has to offer. Even the position of Shizi consort, I could give it to you." "No, eldest young master, please don't. I don't want to take anything from the eldest young madam. I just want to stay by your side." Chen Xiao held Liu Yaoyao tightly in his arms as the two poured out their hearts to each other. I spoke directly with biting sarcasm. The young master and Miss Liu are truly a match made in heaven, so deeply devoted to each other. Liu Yaoyao's face flushed red as she lowered her head and sobbed, "Eldest young madam, I didn't mean to steal the young master from you." With a thud, Liu Yaoyao knelt before me. "Sister consort, please grant me and brother Shizi your blessing." "Yaoyao, get up quickly." Chen Xiao helped Liu Yaoyao up with evident concern, while she seized the moment to rise and shot me a triumphant glance. As if to say, "See, the heir apparent can't bear to see me wronged." "Xiao Mingyu, go tell mother that I want to make Yaoyao my secondary consort. Also, since Yaoyao has no parents, we'll recognize her as your adopted sister and have her married from the Xiao residence." "Heir apparent, don't push people too far." With a violent shove, I sent the entire tea set on the table crashing to the ground. With an expressionless face, she stared at the two of them and spoke word by word. "I won't allow it. Unless I die, don't even think about making Liu Yaoyao a concubine. I want her to live as a disgraceful mistress forever, never to gain any status in this lifetime." "You, Xiao Mingyu, you vicious woman." "Yes, I'm that vicious. As long as I live, Liu Yaoyao will never become a concubine. I'll make sure she remains nameless and titleless for the rest of her life." "You." Chen Xiao pointed at me furiously, his fingers trembling with rage. Liu Yaoyao quickly tried to calm Chen Xiao. "Brother Xiao, don't be like this. Don't argue with the princess consort. It's all right. I don't mind as long as I can stay by your side." After soothing Chen Xiao, the two of them left together. As she left, a flash of murderous intent flickered through Liu Yaoyao's eyes. I knew she was going to make her move against me. Finally, step by step, I had driven them into my plan. Chen Xiao no longer clamored to make Liu Yaoyao his concubine. Instead, he treated me well, uncharacteristically so, and proposed taking me for an outing to Fengyun Mountain. The crown princess was overjoyed and accepted on my behalf. A large group of people marched out of the city, heading toward Fengyun Mountain. Along the way, Liu Yaoyao and Chen Xiao were all lovey-dovey, sometimes riding together on the same horse, sometimes getting off the carriage to pick flowers and chase butterflies, and other times playing in the stream. The two of them completely ignored me. As if I didn't exist at all. I didn't mind either, taking Dongji around to see the sights, because Chen Xiao and his companion kept stopping along the way. They wasted time and hadn't reached their resting place even as the sun set behind the western hills. Liu Yaoyao seemed not yet satisfied and wanted to experience the taste of a wilderness campfire in the woods. Chen Xiao naturally obliged and immediately gave the order to make camp on the spot. Night fell, and a rustling stirred in the grass as birds in the woods took flight.
All this, I had long arranged for them to head to the border, recommending they enlist as soldiers, far better than engaging in harmful trades. Upon learning that Chen Xiao had become his current state to protect Liu Yaoyao, the princess consort of Chen flew into a rage, beating and kicking Liu Yaoyao mercilessly. She then ordered Liu Yaoyao to serve Chen Xiao without leaving his side for even a single step. After all, they were deeply in love, so this could be considered as fulfilling their wishes. In less than half a month, Liu Yaoyao couldn't take it anymore. She knelt before me, weeping bitterly, "Madam, I beg you, please plead with the princess to spare me. I'm willing to leave the capital and never return." The Liu Yaro of today was haggard, with disheveled hair and a pallid face. Completely devoid of her former charm, I lifted her chin. "Since you love the heir so much, the princess is simply granting your wish to be with him for all eternity." "No, no, I don't want this." Liu Yaro clutched her head and wailed, "I don't want this." Since becoming paralyzed, Chen Xiao's temperament had drastically changed, growing irritable and sensitive. He would often bite Liu Yaro's hand viciously when she wiped his face. He would also wait until after she bathed him and changed his clothes before deliberately soiling himself, forcing her to wash him all over again. At night, when Liu Yaro wanted to rest, he deliberately made throaty noises, grunting and groaning, to prevent her from sleeping. Even when the Princess of Chen came to visit, he would stare at Liu Yaro as she shed tears, making the princess mistakenly believe that Liu Yaro was mistreating him. Every time this happened, the Princess of Chen would whip Liu Yaro mercilessly until blood seeped through her clothes. A month later, my menstrual cycle was delayed. Chen Xiao's life is about to end. Entering Chen Xiao's room, he lay on the bed glaring at me, as if he wanted to rush over and bite me to death. I smiled faintly, leaned down, and whispered in his ear, "I'm pregnant." Heh. Chen Xiao's throat emitted a series of rapid sounds. "Don't worry, the child isn't yours. We never consummated our marriage. You didn't betray Liu Yaro. Since you're suffering so much in life, why don't I do you a favor and send you on your way?" Dongji, catching the signal, immediately stepped forward and forced him to drink the poison. Chen Xiao wanted to vomit, but Dongji struck his chest, forcing him to swallow all the poison in his mouth. Early the next morning, I accompanied the Princess of Chen to see Chen Xiao. As soon as we entered the room, Liu Yaro collapsed to the ground, staring at Chen Xiao in horror. The Princess of Chen sensed something was wrong and quickly stepped forward. Chen Xiao spat black blood, his eyes wide open as he glared upward. "Xiao." The Princess of Chen gently patted Chen Xiao's face but received no response. I stepped forward to check his pulse, then looked at the princess in shock, my voice filled with sorrow. "Your Highness, the young master, he's dead. Bitch, it must be you." The Chen princess turned and grabbed Liu Yaro by the throat. "You must have killed my son." "No, it wasn't me." Liu Yaro struggled, shaking her head desperately in denial. The pain of losing her child shattered the Chen princess's reason, and she became convinced that Liu Yaro had poisoned him because she didn't want to serve Chen Xiao. He directly ordered Liu Yaro to be beaten to death. I personally went to watch her die. With her last breath, Liu Yaro gasped, "Xiao Mingyu. You bitch, my greatest regret is not killing you. I should have listened to Matron Kui. I should have killed you the day you married into this household." I smiled, leaning close to her ear. "So what? I've won now. With the child in my belly, I'll inherit everything from the Prince of Chen's estate. How could you possibly have a child? The Crown Prince never consummated the marriage with you." I raised an eyebrow and said disdainfully, "Exactly, so, he must die." Liu Yaro widened her eyes in disbelief as she stared at me. "You vile wretch, you killed the Crown Prince. I'll fight you to the death." Liu Yaro vomited blood profusely until she breathed her last. "That's right, the child wasn't Chen Xiao's. A man like him doesn't deserve to have descendants. Anyway, I just wanted a child. Finding a handsome man to share my bed wasn't particularly difficult. On the day of Chen Xiao's burial, I wailed so loudly that I eventually fainted from crying. Dongji hurriedly summoned the physician to take my pulse. The pulse reading revealed I was over a month pregnant. Calculating the timing, it must have been during those nights of consummation. The Prince of Chen and his consort were overjoyed, repeatedly thanking the heavens for preserving the Chen royal line with an heir. I caressed my belly, feeling the child within the last bloodline of the Chen royal house, its sole inheritor. Surely, it's a son.